Hey everyone, welcome to another video, and in this video I am going to talk about a travel guide. I wrote down every point. I wrote down what you need to do, what you don't need to do. Everything is in there. If you just don't want to watch this video and go through that guide, that's going to be linked in the description. Giving you a disclaimer, you don't even have to watch this video. But if you're still here and if you still want to watch the video, I'll appreciate that, and I'll go through the points one by one. So if you're traveling for the first time, if you've traveled before in flights and planes and internationally, even then, continue watching this video. There's going to be a lot of information. So I have traveled multiple times internationally. I've traveled multiple times from US to India, India to US, and I have these tips and tricks and things which I do to make myself more comfortable on a very long journey. Because it's 16 hours or 24 hours or however hours you have to go through. If you're flying from west coast of India, that's Kolkata or somewhere, and then you're flying to east coast of India to west coast of the US, it's going to take you a while to get there. And that could be a longer flight, that could be multiple connecting flights. So this is my summary on what you should have in terms of things and how you should be traveling while you're traveling internationally. Up until now, I've traveled in Etihad, Emirates, United and Qatar. So basically all the airlines, most the airlines, not Air India. I'm not really keen on traveling with Air India. I haven't had good reviews with that, so just my thought. But Emirates was definitely my go-to. I loved Emirates. Usually they're more expensive, but now that I've moved to the west coast or the southwest of the US, it's difficult to catch up with the Emirates flight, which works all the time. Here are my few points. Here are my few things which I'd like you to also buy to make yourself comfortable. So the first would be a neck pillow. Do not buy a neck pillow which is like you're blowing air into it. Get a neck pillow which is cushioned, which is already inflated, which is cushioned, and which is soft on your neck. So usually the ones which you have to inflate, they're really difficult. First of all, you have to inflate in the middle of the flight. Second, they hurt your neck because their edges are really sharp. So I would recommend you to get like a soft neck pillow. Again, I know space is always tight while you're traveling across the world internationally and you're moving your world here, but invest in this one thing. I'm telling you, while you're sleeping and your neck is doing this and this, it's going to make a lot of difference. Second thing would be seat selection. So I'm 6'2". Every time I'm picking up seat, I used to always pick up an aisle seat before, but I realized that international flights have more leg space and I'm maybe able to squeeze in my legs in a window seat as well. Again, a middle seat is a no-no unless you're traveling with a friend or a family, but in case you get it, do not worry, it's not the end of the world. I prefer aisle seat because I'm tall, so that I could extend my legs in the aisle as well. Window seat I like so that I can put my face against the window right there like that, and I can sleep. If you're someone who pees a lot, who wants to go to the restroom and who wants to have the freedom to access their bag from the overhead cabin, then I would prefer aisle seat as well. Third would be water bottle. Always keep a water bottle. Don't keep a steel water bottle with you. Keep a plastic water bottle with you. Keep the ones which do not leak. Make sure it doesn't leak. That's very important because due to the change of air pressure while your flight is going up, water bottles tend to leak. It has happened to me when my laptop was drenched in water. Luckily nothing happened, but it was drenched in water. So buy a good water bottle and have it. Empty it out while going through customs or while going through security check, because they will ask you to empty out anyways. But if you're like me, who wants to have your own water whenever you want and not ask an air hostess every time you want water, I like that. So keep a water bottle with you, and then of course while you're at the university you can use that water bottle for your day-to-day use. Earmuffs, not a big fan of it. I got lucky. I got gifted a QC35, the Bose QC35s. Those are noise cancelling headphones. They work amazing, but they're really expensive. I wouldn't recommend you buying that. But if you have to buy something and if your ears hurt, a candy, a chewing gum, or just earmuffs would help. While you're taking off and going back, when the altitude is changing, while the flight is going up and down, that's when your ear would start hurting. When you're cruising at an altitude of like 35,000 feet or something, then your ears wouldn't really hurt that much. A jacket, one of the most important things. I'm the kind of person, even if I have that thin blanket which the airline gives me, I'm still cold. So I always take a jacket with me. It could be a hoodie, it could be a jacket with a chain. I prefer a jacket with a chain, the reason being that if I'm feeling warm, I can just chain it out and take it off. Whereas if I'm taking a hoodie off, I have to take the whole thing off and then put it out, and then I'm kind of disturbing the other passengers with me. So a chained hoodie, you can always, like, you can open it up and you can let some air in, and it will keep you warm when you need it. You can be cold and you can take it off whenever you want it. So I recommend taking a jacket with you. Should you wear slippers or shoes? That's a big question. I would recommend you wearing shoes. One of the biggest reason of wearing shoes is that shoes are really heavy when you're taking it in your luggage, right? They're big, they're bulky, they're heavy, especially for the guys. So I would recommend you wearing shoes. Wear some comfortable shoes. Sneakers would be the most ideal thing. You don't want to show off anyone. You don't want to be wearing Air Jordans or something. You should be wearing the most comfortable shoes you have. I prefer the shoes without laces because you can just slide in and slide out. In case you don't have it, just wear the lace shoes, but wear the most comfortable ones. Now, I understand that there are some people whose feet smell when they take off shoes. In that case, always keep a fresh pair of socks in your bag and change it when you are into the flight or when you're almost getting into the flight. No harm in that. If you have fresh pair of socks, your feet's not going to smell, and it's going to be good for everyone. Food. Do not stuff yourself. Again, one thing, alcohol is free at the flight, but there's a limit to that. With the food, airplane food, nobody's a big fan of airplane food, So airplane food is not going to be great. They're also going to give you food in small portions. I always keep like a chocolate or a pack of biscuits or a pack of like snacks with me while I'm traveling. While I'm traveling from India, I would buy Kurkure and Lay's, keep it with me. I prefer eating less during the flight, not as less so that you're always hungry, but just less so that you don't feel stomachache. Because think about it, you're sitting in a flight for 16 hours, so you would feel bloated and gassy while you're done with the flight. Unless you're walking all the time, you're walking every hour or so, that's good. But food is one of those things. Do not stuff yourself before the flight. Once your flight's over, again, you can always go and get some food, or you can have the food which you already are carrying in your luggage. Someone else's stuff. What I mean by someone else's stuff is that if somebody asks you to first of all buy alcohol, they say like, hey, can you buy duty free for me? Or somebody asks like, hey, I don't have enough space in my luggage, can you keep this small packet in your luggage for me? Do not do that. I'm going to warn you against it. First of all, if it's a friend of yours, it's a different thing. But if it's some random person, do not take any of the stuff from them. You do not know if they're drug dealers, if they're traffickers, or if they're carrying something which they shouldn't. In the US, you shouldn't be even carrying fruits. So a lot of people, when they're traveling from Mexico, get mangoes and avocados, and customs stop them and destroy all their food. So you don't want to be the person who's carrying some kind of food for the other person unless they are your friends and you know them very well from way before. Just a thought. Be careful about that. Carry-on bag. I have a small carry-on bag. I had a big carry-on bag before. I prefer the small carry-on bag just because the ease of it, and I can carry enough stuff while I'm traveling domestically as well. I've seen people carrying like a duffel bag as well. I've started doing that, carrying a duffel bag, just because it's lighter and it's easy to squeeze it in under your seat if you don't have overhead cabin space. But I would recommend you to get a small suitcase. I'll link that in the description. You can check that out. And I would recommend you to get a small carry-on and put that in the overhead cabin. Backpacks. Again, one more important thing. Buying a backpack from the US is cheaper and better. If you already have a backpack, just take that backpack and bring it to the US. Not a problem. If you want to buy a new backpack, that's fine as well, because you might not want to buy or invest in stuff as soon as you come here, because there's so many expenses added to it. But now, if you want to buy a backpack, get a backpack with more space for laptops and passport and compartments. There used to be a backpack which I used for like a long time from American Tourister. I think I can link that in the description. Keep a pen with you. A pen is a very essential component, just because you have to fill some customs form, you have to fill any of the form. Having a pen in your pocket is always comes in handy. There have been times where people have asked me a pen, and there have been times where I've asked for a pen. There's no shame in that, but if you carry a pen, that'll be good for you. Power bank, I have used a Xiaomi power bank for almost 5 years now, since 2015. I think that's when I bought my first one. The second one I bought in 2017. I've used them and they are still intact. Get a Xiaomi 10,000 one. If you don't want to carry that big power bank, get a 5,000 or 4,000 power bank as well. That's important. Even though all the flights have USB ports to charge your phone, it's always good to have extra power when you're traveling to a new country. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found this useful. You found these tips, things to carry and what not to carry, and how to carry them useful. There are some videos I've made on immigration and traveling in the US. You should watch it if you haven't, and I'm going to leave that link in the description. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. Have a safe flight if you're flying out soon. Have a great visa interview if you have a visa interview soon. I'm going to see you soon. Take care. Until then, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.